Greetings, and welcome. I do believe indeed we are broadcasting. Greetings and welcome to SEM Mondays live. Almost not live, but we are indeed live and broadcasting. As you come on in, please confirm that for me. Shoot some emojis, share some love, give me a thumbs up or a yes. Let me know indeed that you can see me and hear me. You know, we started the broadcast for this like early in the morning to get things set up, and then I'm standing here. It's so there's a lot that goes on. It's behind the scenes to get this going, and it's crazy how often, right as I try to broadcast, there's a problem. Right, everything is fine up until then. And it's really hard to not go to a place of, why this now? Which I think is a really good question to ask. But I am super grateful to have the opportunity to be able to connect with you. Between Gmail, right, between Google and YouTube, because they're so intertwined. It's like one of the two creates a challenge so often. I hope your end of this experience is a whole lot better, a whole lot easier, and I know it is because I'm on the other end very often on other live streams, folks that I follow. So, for those of you who celebrated Easter, I hope you had a peaceful, blessed, and miraculous Easter. Gosh, it is such beautiful spring weather here in Colorado. Just really grateful for everything, for life, for these minutes. That Augmandino says that these moments are gifts from God. These moments are undeserved bonuses, and from that perspective, it's like how can you waste time? How can you bide time? And the encouragement is, if God gave me these moments, then it's an easy conclusion to draw that God has some pretty good ideas as to how I should be spending these moments, what I should be doing with this time that I am granted to be here. It's an interesting way, I think, to look at life and to look at the time and to look at. I see some sound is broken up. Let me pause here and quit this and. Mixer, so now we have 4 things that potentially went wrong here this morning, just in this one little broadcast. So if you would give me, let me know if that's better. Gosh, I hope this is better. Hope the voice is no longer broken up or voice is weird. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, Marty, for the feedback. Just let me know if you can see me and hear me, and we'll do a quick take 2. We'll start all over again. Please, Judith, Marty, anyone who is, it's good now. Thank you, Marty. I so appreciate that. So, because we had the garbled, broken up sound, I want to officially greet you and welcome you to SEM Mondays Live, my weekly live Q&A show here on YouTube. Really grateful for the opportunity to connect with you. And for those of you who celebrated Easter, happy Easter. I hope it was truly a miraculous day for you. It's always a really precious time of year for me, and certainly a time for introspection, right? There's so many, even if you're not Christian, there's so many metaphors to the story of Christ, the story of Easter, that I think is applicable regardless of your belief. And it's I think it's well worth reflecting upon. So I don't have I don't have any questions that have come in that we weren't able to point folks to the answers to pretty quickly, pretty easily. And I just have a couple of announcements. we have yet to reach our $6,000 goal, which will enable us to be able to transition to a nonprofit organization, to a 501c3. Last count, I think we're about $300 short, just over $300 short. We have a big enough community that when we started this fundraising campaign, I thought we'd raise the $6,000 in, less than a week, a handful of emails, and I don't know how long this has been going on, but it seems like it's really dragging on. So for those of you who have contributed to our fundraising campaign, thank you. We really can't do this without you. And I love the notion that only I can heal myself, and yet, while I was mostly alone on my journey of self-healing, and it wasn't until Source Energy Medicine that I was fully able to completely transform, balance, and restore all of the challenges that I had, and certainly all of that I was more or less alone. I had some colleagues that I was sharing my experience with, but there I was, and now we have I think about 1,400 people who are participating in our Source Energy Medicine Quick Start Guide. It's nice to know that you are not alone on your journey with Source Energy Medicine. You are not alone on your journey of self-healing, of self-discovery, of continuing to, continuing to make progress on your healing path. I'm fully committed to keeping the content that's in the Quick Start Guide available and available to everyone. And, I got to tell you, I look at the numbers and I look at the statistics and it's hard to say, most of the people in our community don't really care about the other folks in our community. I know that's not true, and yet that's what it looks like. So, I think if you've received, even a little bit of value from what's in the Quick Start Guide, and I have a heart, the only way you're going to receive a little bit of value from the Quick Start Guide is if you just watch it a little bit, right? If you participate a little, if you kind of just put your toe in the water. But for those who are fully exploring the Quick Start Guide, I think, in the beginning of Source Energy Medicine, folks were investing about $2,000, and they didn't even have access to everything that you have within the Quick Start Guide. Well, we didn't have charging labels. We were making and selling. We were shipping Source Energy Medicines to you. And it was, that's what it was. That was the technology we had. That's the way we started. And right from that earliest beginning, even though that was a massive breakthrough. Like my clients before that were investing, some of them were investing that a month, people who had serious challenges, or multiple people in their families who were exploring the methodologies that I shared in my practice. So, I was, when I worked at Healers Who Share, one of the challenges for me was cost prohibitive to most people. And, I know that our bodies can be self-balancing, self-healing, and self-correcting if we can get the human parts figured out, right? Because the rest of it's divine. It's the human parts that create the challenge. To a large degree, it's the subconscious mind. That is the root, literally, of all evil when it comes to looking at, dissecting the challenges of really difficulty that we can experience in any aspect of life. So, it was that commitment early on to train. I knew we couldn't. I knew as we grew, right, as the business scaled, that we'd be able to reduce the cost, but probably not more than 10 or 20%, even with the utmost efficiency. And I really, even in those days, I wanted people to be able to make Source Energy Medicines in their own home. Everybody thought I was crazy. Most people still think I'm crazy, and I am completely okay with that because it's so much. Well, I mean, think about the environmental impact of shipping 500 milliliter bottles of Source Energy Medicines, around the U.S. and Canada, and it really limited, right, our scope of geographically speaking of who we could help. So the charging label technology really came from years of wanting to share source energy medicine with more people, and I knew that there was a way to be able to enable you to make source energy medicines in your own home. And it's kind of crazy to think back at the time when I didn't know how you would be making it, and now it's just like so commonplace. And yet, for most folks, it's the first time that you're making any kind of an energy medicine in your own home, unless you were really, a trailblazer. And there are a lot of people in our community who have been making some type of an energy medicine in one way or another, not with charging label technology, but even Dr. Emoto, while that's not really making an energy medicine, it certainly is influencing water in constructive, positive ways. So, I hope next Monday I won't be talking about fundraising for this first fundraising campaign, and hopefully it'll be a little bit of a break between when we reach our goal and our next fundraising campaign, and we're talking about other ways to be able to have it be more fun for everyone and more of a community event, right? So I think for this, the part of the thing too for me was, we had two what I think were really, really good thank yous for supporting our fundraising campaign. The first was if you contributed $222 or more, you received lifetime access to the Source Energy Medicine Masterclass. That's all about emergency preparedness. It's all about acute conditions, right? So vomiting, diarrhea, COVID-19, some migraine headaches, a lot of food poisoning types of things like that, colds, flus, things that seem to come out of the blue. And of course, a big part of it is, well, what can I do? What are best practices to help to ensure that I don't experience any acute conditions? So the masterclass, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. I think it's some of the best content that we produced. And I like everything that we have produced. I'm really, really very proud of all of our online workshops and master classes. So for $222, you have lifetime access to that special master class, and you have access to the new Source Energy Medicine mobile app, which enables you to literally use your smartphone to be able to make source energy medicines. And then we have folks who already went through the master class, and for $111, $111 contribution to our fundraising campaign, they would have access to the special mobile app because they already registered for the master class. And then we came up with, well, let's just do a special event, right? So for contributions in any amount, even $11.11 or less, even, I don't think you can. You could send a check for any amount, obviously. Maybe not obviously, but you can. So we're going to have a special event in about 2 weeks, and it's going to be for contributors only. It's going to be part Q&A and part group energy healing session, and it'll be quite a bit different than what we do here every week, what I offer every week on SEM Mondays, as a way of being able to thank those in our community who are making this transition to a nonprofit organization successful. And it's not just, I see your contributions as not just enabling us to be able to do this, but it's enabling us to be able to continue to offer source energy medicine openly and freely. And I think more importantly, it's helping to ensure the future of source energy medicine, is that we have a future, right, for generations and generations and generations to come, far beyond my lifetime. So I hope all of that makes sense. There's links in the show notes below this player for all of the available options. There's a link to a video where I explain the whole reason why we're transitioning to a nonprofit organization. But I think the big reason, like the main inspiration for all of this, is for longevity, right? We'll have a board of directors, and a board of directors will help to ensure that source energy medicine lives on for many, many, many generations to come. So I love thinking about how, if you're new to source energy medicine, you are coming into this realm of potential and possibility at a time where you are absolutely standing on the shoulders of those who have come before you. I think back to what things were like in 2004 and 2005 when source energy medicine was just coming about. Things were much slower, way more difficult. You had to take many, many more source energy medicines to achieve the same results. We didn't have the fusion technology. So if you just look at the source energy medicine people's desk reference at TF2, for example, TF2, I don't know how many individual source energy medicines are in there, but before the fusion technology, you were taking all of those separately. Sure, you could combine them, but it was a whole lot of water. And of course, it was just an ounce of each of those. But my countertop, it's like I got a big part of my house back when the fusion technology came about, because there was many fewer bottles. And even though at that point I wasn't taking source energy medicine for any challenges, I was still experimenting. I was still conducting the human experiment. So I'm going to go ahead and transition into the group energy healing session, because I know that's to a large degree why most of you show up with me here live every Monday. And that's why folks, I think to a large degree, watch the replays. We've had a bunch of people in our community who have used the replays of SEM Mondays as part of their daily wellness plan. It's a way to be able to disconnect from the stress and the uncertainty and the fear that we are all swimming in, and to allow yourself the opportunity to be able to continue to heal yourself, right? To honor the healing process. I always encourage you to choose one goal or one challenge that you'd like to work on per session, just knowing that you can come back and rewatch another one anytime. You don't have to wait. There's no way of experiencing too much non-material source energy medicine. And if you don't know, the non-material aspect of source energy medicine is the same technology that we utilize within our charging labels, except it's a whole lot faster, whole lot more efficient, and certainly more pregnant with potential and possibility, because we can do things in the non-material aspect that we just can't do with charging labels. And it is absolutely the leading edge of source energy medicine, right? Which I really see as a leading edge self-healing methodology. I think it's really important to point out that, especially with the energy work, I think more so there than the charging labels, to really underline that you are always healing yourself. And it is that divine aspect that is within you, right? You don't have to do anything per se. Which is, I think, harder sometimes than if you had something to do, right? Because doing nothing for most humans is something that's quite difficult. So, getting very comfortable, turning off distractions other than the live stream, I think is a really good idea. If you're in a place where you can't get real comfortable, you can't turn off your distractions, you're at work or something like that, I really encourage you to, maybe towards the end of your day, carve out 10 or 15 minutes, come back, watch the replay, and be able to experience this work, experience the potential blessings and gifts and miracles that are unfolding here before us. Allow yourself the opportunity to fully receive them, to fully allow them, fully experience them. And because, it is this source energy that is within you, dormant in many, but it is that source energy that is within you, that a lot of the focus of this work is to awaken that. So it's not dormant, so it's active, so that it is this collaboration, right? It is absolutely working and playing knowingly with the source of all creation, which in our online workshops, I refer to as becoming a sorcerer, right? Becoming a master sorcerer. Wayne Dyer talked about this all the time, and I absolutely love it. Carlos Castaneda talked about working and playing knowingly with God is a sorcerer, right? It is literally. I think about the legends of sorcerers, and it is absolutely, I believe, there certainly were alchemists who were working on transforming dross material into gold. There's no question about it. But I think the highest form of alchemy is to transform my soul, to transform my higher self, to transform my consciousness from dross matter, right? From low energy into what we would characterize as gold, which I see as the true potential, right? The greatness that the source of all creation created me to be, created you to be. And that is very much what source energy medicine is all about. It's a transformation of slow energy into fast energy, transformation of the energy that's creating dis-ease into the energy that will create vitality and well-being and the ability to thrive. So because we're not fighting dis-ease, because we're not combating, we're not trying to kill anything, there's no possibility for a healing reaction or a catharsis or a meltdown. There is only the opportunity for increased energy, physical energy, certainly calibrated energy, and for feeling of being lighter, feeling of transformation, feeling of receiving blessings. For me, I get a lot of visceral feelings when I experience a non-material source energy medicine session, whether I'm facilitating or receiving it. And it is always, for me, first and foremost, I feel like I'm getting wrapped in a blanket of unconditional love. It certainly feels like the source of all creation is just hugging me, embracing me, loving me, and seeing me accurately, right? Seeing me as the greatness that I was created to be, rather than the human version or the versions that I often try and tell myself, the lies that I try and tell myself. So I'm going to go ahead and get things set up here. I turn my camera off. There'll be chanting going on in the background just so that you know that we're live streaming and that the session is still going on. Probably about 7 minutes or so. The work is phenomenally fast, and there's absolutely added benefit to re-experiencing either this session or any of the replays from SEM Mondays, which there's a special archive. All of the SEM Mondays are archived in a special playlist on our YouTube channel. And if you're totally new to source energy medicine and you don't know anything or not much other than what I just shared with you about the non-material aspect of source energy medicine, when we're done here, go to YouTube or go to Google and search for source energy medicine, non-material aspect, N-O-N material. And it's called the non-material aspect because there's no bottles, there's no charging labels, there's no water, there's no material substance, right? It is pure energy. And again, it's the same technology, it's the same energy that we utilize in our charging label system, except it's much, much, much more flexible and it's faster. And while you will focus on one goal or one challenge per group session, my intention is to focus on the things, like I can't do everything that I do when I work one-on-one with a client in a group session, but I can focus on the things that are most important to your health and well-being, right? Helping to support you during this pandemic, during this health crisis, which is likely going to be going on for, I certainly hope the statistics improve radically, but it's something that we're going to learn how to live with. And I think learning how to live in a health crisis, right, during a pandemic is very much what the content is in that special masterclass that I talked about on emergency preparedness. So I invite you to get comfortable. A lot of folks like to close their eyes when they receive non-material source energy medicine sessions. And if you're in a place where that's comfortable and appropriate for you to do that, just please do that. And if it's not safe, or you don't feel safe doing that, or it's not comfortable, or you're not in a place where it's appropriate for you to close your eyes, please don't. Just please use common sense and take really good care of yourself. Continue to breathe comfortably and simply allow. I am always amazed at the divine orchestration that is at play, that brings each of us together on this journey of self-healing, self-discovery, which I really see as a journey homeward, a journey back to the same energy that created me, the same energy that created everything that we experience in this universe. It's a journey away from the slow energy, the low energy, the density, the fear, the egoic-based existence of humanity, and a return to divine order, divine orchestration, divine timing, divine blessings, and divine miracles. It is, I believe, the recreation of heaven on earth, remaining in this physical body, having a mental, physical, material experience, and yet somehow being more divine and less human, more spiritual and less mortal. Much more of the infinite, innocent, precious being that the source of all creation had in mind when your soul was created, when this body that your soul is inhabiting was brought into this life experience. Continue to breathe comfortably. Continue to allow. And when you think of that goal or that challenge that you'd like to focus on for this session, I encourage you to see it from the perspective of the source of all creation, knowing that to the source of all creation, there's nothing that is more difficult than any other, and everything is easy. There's nothing that's outside the scope of potential or possibility to the source of all creation. Continue to relax. Continue to receive. Receive the blessings, the miracles, the gifts, the insights, the breakthroughs, the transformations, the balance, and the restoration. invite you to take a nice deep breath as you continue to allow and receive. Continue to receive the miracles and the blessings and the gifts, the transformation, the balance, the restoration in every way that it could possibly be experienced. And know that while this work is phenomenally fast in terms of linear time, that this work will continue to literally be uploaded, downloaded, and installed into every aspect of your being for hours to come. And I think that's one of the reasons why there is added benefit to coming back and rewatching the replay to this or any other SEM Mondays, the group energy healing sessions, because it is like reinforcing the energy patterns, right? It's reinforcing. It's like you don't go to a gym and work out one time, right? If you're wise, you'll go to the gym at least every other day or do some sort of physical exercise, right? Get out in nature, get your body moving, yoga, tai chi, whatever it is, right? It's something that is just part of, I think, part of being human, right? If we don't keep our bodies moving, or our bodies are going to become stagnant and slow down, and will be harder and harder and harder to heal, right? It's much easier to heal, to feel well when, at least for me, when I'm physically fit, right? I think physical fitness certainly leads to greater mental clarity. It leads to greater sleep, greater endocrine function, greater digestive function, greater everything, right? So I think it's kind of common sense. And I have to laugh at how many years of this life experience I didn't work out at all. Like my big exercise was when we were living in New York City. It was just I walked everywhere. Which on one hand was great, because if I didn't walk everywhere, I would have been even much more overweight than I already was. And I was like 35 pounds overweight, which for my size is a lot. So I hope that was a very powerful, positive, empowering experience for you. If the goal or the challenge that you chose to focus on has not been fully realized or not fully realized yet in terms of tangible, measurable results, focus on the knowing that it is unfolding for you, right? It is manifesting for you in every way that it can possibly manifest, right? And I think it also enables an opportunity to look at my belief systems, right? What do I believe to be true about that particular goal or that particular challenge? Do I have a belief that makes it necessary for it to take a lot of time for me to experience that? Or does it have to be difficult or painful or cathartic? Or do I have to really work very hard at it? Do I have to experience 100 of these sessions in order for it to be fully realized? So these are all conscious and unconscious beliefs that would actually hinder my healing process. I have some I think really good videos on our YouTube channel where I go into all of the things that influence our positive results, right? Or support or hinder our healing experience. And there's certainly videos in the Quick Start Guide also along those lines thematically, right? Content-wise. So thank you for all of the kind words and the love and the beautiful emojis in the chat. I didn't see any questions. I checked the chat right before I came back on with all of you, and I don't see any questions. So, my friends, God willing, I will see you back here next Monday live for another installment of SEM Mondays Live. Thank you for your financial support during this fundraising campaign to transitioning to becoming a nonprofit organization, a 501c3. And, thank you and bless you for being a bold forerunner, right? For someone who is willing to step into the potential and possibility that you actually can heal yourself, that your body can be self-balancing, self-healing, self-correcting, provided you have the right support, the right community, the right technology, and the answers to your questions so that you can really maximize the gifts, maximize the potential and possibility that lies within source energy medicine. So, God willing, I will see you all back here next Monday at a regular time. Between now and next Monday, stay connected in our community. In our Inside the Quick Start Guide. If you don't know about the Quick Start Guide, there's links to that in the show notes below this. It is. I have to stop calling it a free mini course because yes, it is free. But it's definitely not a mini course anymore. There's a lot of content in there that I think is really, really, really helpful, very valuable, and very supportive to your healing journey. As always, I wish you continued blessings on your journey with Source Energy Medicine. Bye for now.